we meet those who are not so pleased. Abdul Rahman lives in Tripoli's Abu Slim district, historically pro-Gadhafi. When the rebels arrived, his sister was badly injured. She's still in hospital in Tunisia. Abdul Rahman doesn't want to show his face on camera and insists on a hidden location for the interview. He says revolution has brought much fear in its wake.
There is no peace. There is no safety in the city. We don't let our children outside when it's dark. We're afraid. We always wait for something bad. When Gadhafi was here, at least we didn't have to sleep awake like we do now.
Abdul Rahman says he also wanted change and a brighter future for his country, but not this way.
People are dying on both sides. The city's destroyed, and no one cares. Do they seriously think that they changed it for the better? Don't lie to yourself. Just look around. Is that what you wanted?
And what is around is a scene of widespread destruction and social chaos. The badly damaged buildings matched by the rising stink of garbage and decomposing bodies. Armed youngsters roam the streets, barely old enough to understand that what they carry are weapons, not toys. Many shops, schools and hospitals are closed, while the city's cemeteries are growing bigger and bigger. Shortly after Tripoli fell into rebel hands, the National Transitional Council, Libya's new authority, claimed it was moving here from Benghazi. But weeks have passed and there is still no sign of its presence on the ground or of order being restored. The city is functioning by itself and treading a fine line between freedom and anarchy. Marif Noshna, RT, Tripoli, Libya.
Stay with us here on RT. Still ahead in the program, President Obama presents his $400 billion jobs package, with critics saying it won't be of any help to the debt-stricken economy or the country's unemployed. Plus, seeking membership, Palestine building up for September's vote that could grant the long-awaited status as a UN member. But first, Russia is willing to support different approaches to resolve the situation in Syria as long as they send signals to both sides of the conflict. President Medvedev made the position clear in an interview after the Global Policy Forum in Yaroslavl. RT's Peter Oliver brings us more of the Russian leader's point of view.
President Medvedev has warned against viewing the situation in Syria in terms of good and bad, saying that careful consideration must be paid to certain elements within the Syrian opposition before the international community jumps on side to dealing with them. Now, President Medvedev also called on both the Assad government and the opposition to bring about an end to violence in the country.
I believe the resolutions we will approve to send a strong message to the Syrian regime should in fact be addressed to both sides. Things aren't just black and white there, and the anti-government protesters in Syria are not followers of some refined European models of democracy. There are different groups within the opposition. Some of them are, to put it straight, extremists, and some might even be called terrorists. The situation is not that simple, and we have to take into account the balance of different forces and interests. Russia may support certain moves, but only if they don't boil down to the one-sided condemnation of the government and President Assad. We should send a strong message calling on all the conflicting parties to come to the negotiating table, start talks, and stop the bloodshed. This is also in Russia's interest, because Russia has always been Syria's friend, and our countries have close economic and political ties. That's why we'll continue to look for solutions to the situation in Syria.
Well, Russia has opposed the sanctions that have been put in place on Syria, including the most recent ones imposing an oil embargo, saying that more time should be given to the Assad government to achieve the promises made to bring about change in the country. Now, President Medvedev mentioned there that negotiation is important and Russia is playing its part as a mediator. On Friday, representatives of the Syrian opposition are in Moscow for talks with top Russian diplomats. On Monday, representatives from the Assad government will be here to talk to diplomats to try and bring an end to this situation in Syria. Russia, of course, doesn't want to see Syria go down the same road as what happened in Libya, with the UN resolution that was imposed there being abused as far as Russia saw it, with the international intervention going well beyond the parameters laid out in the mandate. They want to see negotiation bring a peace to Syria.
A report from RT's Peter Oliver in Moscow. You can see the full version of the interview that President Medvedev gave to Euronews television on our website, rt.com.